and you were sharing our thoughts with our viewers regarding the handshakes that have been taking place on the sidelines of the summit. In the meanwhile, there's some fresh news coming in. President Putin and Prime Minister Modi are traveling in the same car to the destination of their bilateral meeting. So taking this conversation back to Major General Kochhar, you were of course highlighting the handshake that was taking place between Xi and Modi. So has this summit, if we look at it in an overall manner, been a major diplomatic win for India?
Definitely, Pia. I would, at the outset, I would say the ice has been broken. I would not say a diplomatic win, because a diplomatic win will only happen when things between China and India on the border issue as well as the trade issue move ahead. What India actually wants from China, we had discussed in the morning session. If those aspects are addressed by the Chinese, definitely I would say it's a diplomatic win. But certainly, in a measured manner, I would like to say that it has been a watershed between the relations between India and China, because there was a distancing between this relationship. Last 4 5 years, they have gone from bad to worse. So now there is an attempt to put it back on track. So from that context, I would relate this as a very, very important development in South Asia, because you need to understand that South Asia is basically governed by these two countries. If there is peace and tranquility, if there is bonhomie, if there is trade and development between China and India, let me assure you, you the relevance of America will start going down. And that is what is worrying the United States today, because United States would be observing all these things from a distance, that what is happening. And just now you mentioned about Putin and Modi traveling in the same vehicle. You see these relationships now, how these relationships are going about, because two world leaders, as per protocol, will not travel in the same vehicle, because the security protocol also does not permit you two heads of state to move together in one vehicle. So if that is the case, it shows that how closely India views its relationship with Russia, in spite of 50% tariffs, in spite of punitive 25% tariffs. So and in December, Putin is visiting India. So that's also a great sign. And what we are hearing is that Donald Trump is not going to come for the Quad summit in India, where the leadership will be with India. So these are two contrasting developments. President of the USA refuses to come to India. The president of the United of Russia is coming to India, and the kind of uh, and the way they were talking to each other, and Prime Minister Modi was talking to each other. And there is also another angle to it. Zelensky is also likely to visit India. So you can see now that India is becoming a fulcrum. As a matter of fact, if the SCO is instrumental in bringing peace in this war, the Nobel Peace Prize must go to SCO rather than to Trump, on the lighter side. You see, these are important geopolitical churnings, as I call it, and it is happening. And my last point is that in case China walks the talk, because I would like to see this happening, and I can see the intent on the Chinese part, because the Chinese have realized that they have hardly gained in the last 5 years. So, in case they are interested, in case they don't have, we will not accept a one-way traffic. We will expect China to respond. And it's very, very important. See, we are not part of any bloc. We are not part of the US bloc. We are not part of the Russian bloc. We are not part of this China bloc. We believe in strategic autonomy. We believe in having separate relationships with separate countries without any linkages with the other countries. Russia may be enemy of the US, but still we maintained good relations with both of them. China, you know, is a competitor or enemy, you can say, of the US. We still will maintain good relations with both of them, because my last concluding remark is that every country looks to further its own national interest. And therefore, India's national interest is in maintaining good relations with all countries, and to spread the message of Vasudev Kutumbam, because that is important. The world is one family. So we have to understand this, what Prime Minister Modi has been mentioning time and again. And in spite of that, there are wars and there are things happening. At the end of the day, I ask you and your viewers, the Russian-Ukraine war, what it would have achieved? A piece of land. The Iran and Israel conflict with the US also coming in. Will you stop Iran from making a nuclear bomb if Iran decides to do that? You will not be able to do that in spite of any amount of sanctions and wars you can take. So ultimately, if one realizes a war is not going to lead you to a solution of problems, you have to get together through a dialogue and diplomacy, because that is the key for the future.
Also like to rope in Professor Jim Rice, who's been waiting rather patiently